Simply put, my presentation is going to be about two things: saving you time and saving you money. Saving you time on how much it takes to complete your college degree. In other words, getting out of college faster and getting out of college without hurting your pocketbook. It's all about saving money. And so if anybody has recently looked at the cost of going to college, you know that it's expensive. And in some instances, it is ridiculously expensive. So there's something out there that some of you may have heard about. As the title says, what is testing out? Or credit by examination, taking a test, passing a test, getting the college credit, and moving on. Some of you are probably raising your hand or nodding your head, yes, I've heard of it. But I'm willing to bet even for those who have raised their hand or nodded their head, yes, you don't even realize to the level and depth that this can be a benefit to you. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Because people, I'm talking about saving a lot of time and a tremendous thousands of dollars on your college education. I spent 12 years as a school board trustee, enjoyed it immensely, learned a lot of things that are facing our institutions, our high schools, our school districts when it comes to education. But the biggest thing that was at the forefront for me personally was how do we help families, how do we help individuals realize that dream of getting a college education. And I came to realize something that's been out there for 50 years and so few people know to the level that it can be a benefit, and that is testing out college credit by taking an exam and passing an exam. You know, some people call it PLA, prior learning assessment, and that basically means, in a nutshell, the knowledge that you've gained from sitting in a classroom, the knowledge you've gained by maybe going and taking a certification class and earning that certification, and the knowledge you've gained from just on the job. All those things used for you to sit and prepare for and take an exam and pass that exam and earn the college credit. Now, credit by examination has typically four most common forms: CLEP, DSST, ECE, and UXL. And I'll talk a little bit about all of them, but I'm really going to spend the most amount of time talking about CLEP because it's the one that is accepted by the most colleges and universities in the country, and it's the one that's been around the most. Now, in general, credit by examinations is very similar to your AP exam. You know, if you've ever taken an AP exam, or just really taking an exam. It's basically passing the classroom, passing the quizzes, the homework, the papers, and going right to the exam, passing the exam, and getting the credit for the course without having to spend the time and energy and the money to actually go to class. And these exams are taken basically at any college and university, including community college, are testing centers. But there are also commercial testing centers out there. And I'm sure you're familiar with Sylvan Learning Center or Prometric. Those are also testing centers. And you have to go to a testing center because obviously you're taking an exam that's going to earn you college credit. So you're not going to be able to take these in the comfort of your home, which would be nice, but that's not going to be possible. These have to be proctored exams. Therefore, you're going to have to take them either at a college, university, community college, or a testing center. But folks, they're readily available. Certainly if you live in and around a big city, they're certainly available. And even if you live in a rural area, I realize you may have to drive 20 or 30 miles to a testing center, but they're there and they're convenient. So let me focus on, as I mentioned just a second ago, on CLEP, which stands for College Level Examination Program. As you can see by the graph, CLEP is accepted by 2,900 colleges and universities across the United States. There are only about 3,200 colleges and universities. So you're basically are stating that 92% of all colleges and universities accept CLEP testing out credit by examination programs. Now, CLEP has been around for 50 years, and it was created by an association called College Board. Now, College Board may not be familiar to you, but I know the SAT test and AP courses are, and that's who created those. And so they've been around a long time. They're well known. They're well respected. Obviously, 2,900 colleges and universities in the U.S. accept them, so certainly they're well respected, and they've been around a long, long time. 50 years. Oh my gosh, that means I could have done it when I was in high school. Yeah, back in 1976, but I was ignorant to the fact that they existed, and that could have saved me some time and money, or saved me time and saved my mom and dad some money, and I'm sure they would have appreciated that. Now, currently there are 33 exams that College Board exempts through their that has through their CLEP program. Now, if you just assume that every college course is 3 hours, and certainly, folks, there are college courses that are more than that. I mean, for anybody that's gone to college, you know there are some courses that are 5, 6, and 7 hours. But we're just going to assume that they're all the average 3 hours. Well, that means that there's potentially 99 credit hours out there that you can take via an exam with never stepping in a classroom, investing 3 or 4 months of a semester and the time to do the course, study for the exams, write the papers, and spend the money on tuition. Now, is 99 hours realistic? Maybe not, but I tell you what is realistic: 45, 50, 60 hours. Very realistic. There are a lot of people that start their college career off while already having those many hours under their belt. They're going in their junior year. Can you imagine if you went into your junior year and you're looking at the fact that I'm going to be out in the job market earning a good living in a year, year and a half, and I just saved myself thousands and thousands of dollars on tuition, or I saved my mom and dad, or better yet, I didn't have to go into debt by taking a student loan? Tremendous opportunity, folks. As I've said, best kept secret in education. Now, this is just an example of what the average student who will CLEP out of 15 hours, and again, if we're using 3 hours as the criteria, that's 5 college courses. So if you're going to go to a state-funded school, a 4-year state school, on average, over 4 years, you're going to save $5,000 on your tuition. If you do that same thing, but you go to a private school, you're looking at $17,000. And folks, I'm here to tell you there are individuals who are saving $15,000, $20,000. And think for a second, and you may not realize this, but the average college course, average 3-hour college course in the United States, and this is inclusive of 4-year state, 4-year private, community college, the average cost for a 3-hour course is $1,000. On average, to study and prepare for, take your exam at a testing center and CLEP out of this course is going to cost you approximately $150. So on average, that's $850 a course. So now, can you imagine if you were able to CLEP out of 7, 8, 9, 10 courses? Well, you can see how that adds up in a hurry. So as I keep saying to you, the best kept secret in education. In fact, I've told so many people over the years, if you are not CLEPing out of everything that you possibly can, you are absolutely wasting time and throwing money out the window. And I don't know why you would want to do that. Here's a testimonial by a young man by the name of Jeremy, and I won't read it to you, but you can obviously see. He says clearly, I went into college after my senior year with 45 plus college credit hours. 45. So he basically went in starting his junior year. Again, can you imagine thinking, oh my gosh, I've only got another year and a half. I'm out in the real world earning a living. Tremendous opportunity, folks. And I get these messages all the time from people who save these many hours, who save these kind of dollars on their tuition. Now, I mentioned earlier the other credit by examination programs. One of them was Dantes. As you can see, these are all based on the same premise, folks, where you're going to take an exam, pass an exam, earn the college credit, and move on. But the difference between Dantes and the other ones I'm going to mention here in a second is they're not accepted as widely as CLEP. Again, CLEP was accepted by 2,900. Dantes is accepted by 1,900 colleges and universities. Administered at testing centers at colleges, universities, and pro-mectors, the same format, and cost of the exams is roughly the same. Again, the biggest difference is it's not accepted as widely in colleges and universities. It's been around since 1974, originally created for our great men and women of our military, but in 2006 they decided to make it available to all in the general population. So again, another opportunity to take additional courses that may be accepted at your college and university. UXL and EXE are more based for a particular college. Excelsior College has been around a long time. It's a very well-respected school in upstate New York, Albany, New York, and they've got various exams that they also offer. But again, the biggest difference for this, as you can see, it's accepted by a little bit less colleges and universities than DSST and CLEP, 900 to be exact. But again, another opportunity. And I want to say here to everybody, now that I've kind of gone through the various opportunities to earn credit by examination, I strongly encourage you to, as I said, 2,900 colleges and universities is the maximum number approximately, which means a lot of them, but it doesn't mean all of them. But even the ones that do accept credit by examination, that's going to vary from college to college. So what you need to do, and I would just encourage you, instead of going on their website and looking on the website, and the reason why I say that, because things change. So take the time, call the admissions office, and just ask them, do you accept credit by examination? And if they say yes, then you just say, how many hours? And once they say the hours, say, okay, do you accept CLEP? Yes. Do you accept DSST? And do you accept EXC exams? Find out what they accept and the number of hours they accept, and then find out if there's a restriction. Because some schools may say, yes, we accept 21 hours of either CLEP, DSST, or EXC, but we only accept them in history, English, or literature. We don't allow science or math, and I'm just using that as an example, but it's going to vary, so make sure you understand that. And in fact, you may actually use that as a criteria to determine which college you want to go to. You may decide, hey, I want to go to the school that's going to allow me the biggest opportunity to save time and save money. So you may actually use that as a means to determine which school you go to, but I encourage you to do that. That's very, very important. Now, credit by examination itself is neutral as far as your GPA. It's not going to impact your GPA up or down. It's a pass-fail exam. And what you're going to find out, and again, this is part of the question you can ask those colleges. If you're particularly thinking, and I'll just use history as an example, if you're particularly thinking about taking history as a CLEP exam, you just need to ask them what's the passing score for your institution for the history CLEP. And they say 52, which is a common score, or 54. Now don't relate that to an ABC grading scale, because obviously that would be failing on an ABC grading scale. It's just a pass-fail mark that you've got to hit. But credit by examination does a lot of things for you. One is, as we've already indicated, it eliminates the number of hours that you've got to sit in the classroom for. Well, if you just eliminate the number of hours, it's common sense that gives you less hours to focus on, more time to put into the courses that you've got to study, and in particular, it's probably the courses that are core to your major. So it's going to enhance your performance in the classroom for those particular courses, and it's going to increase the likelihood that you're going to complete your degree. And that in itself is common sense. If I can go into college already having half the 120 hours that it required for me to get an undergraduate degree, chances are I'm going to complete my degree. So it's a way to increase the odds in your favor that you're going to complete your degree. And as I've been saying all along, yes, it's going to shorten the time to get that degree, and it is going to save you serious dollars on your college tuition. Here's a graph to me that's the most important. 126,000 individuals took and passed CLEP exams in 2015. That equated to 380,000 plus hours of college credit saved. But more importantly, $63 million in tuition savings. $63 million in tuition savings. That's a lot of money, folks. A lot of money. Now, who is testing out for? Well, it's for everyone. If you're going to college, it's for you. High school, college students, freshmen, sophomores in college, and even seniors who have realized, oh my gosh, I'm lacking a course I got to take. I don't want to spend the time and money to do it. I'll CLEP out of it. Very popular with our homeschool community, adult learners, and extremely popular with our military. If you're going to college, testing out is for you. Also, folks, I want to say one thing too. I mentioned earlier that I was CEO of a company called Speedy Prep, and Speedy Prep is a CLEP prep product. And so I encourage you to go to www.speedyprep.com and learn a little bit about what it is. It's widely considered the best CLEP prep program out there. In fact, it's recognized by the Homeschool Association as the best CLEP prep college program out there. And there's a lot of free resources out there as well. But I think you're going to find, if you do your due diligence, there's a big difference in what Speedy Prep does for you. And for $29.95 a month, it is a very, very small spend on a program that is specifically geared for the specific exam that you're taking. It does all the legwork for you. You don't have to go out and YouTube videos. It's got videos. It's got everything you need right there, but it focused specifically on what that test is going to be. So you're not spending a lot of time reading a book and studying a lot of material that may or may not be on the exam. This is going to be exactly what's going to be on your exam, and it comes with a money-back guarantee. And more importantly, our individuals who use our product pass their exam on the first attempt 97.2% of the time. So look at everything that's out there. I encourage you to do that, but take your time and to check out Speedy Prep. I think you may find it to be a very, very beneficial program, and at $29.95, it's a high value program as well. Thank you so much for listening to me today. Thank you for participating in the Acceleration Summit. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I wish you all the success in the world in your education and your career goals, and God bless.